myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want.
Hey guys, Coach Dan here. I've been lifting for over 20 years. I hold a degree in exercise and sports science, and I've been coaching for over a decade. On this channel, we are all about evidence-based muscle growth or hypertrophy training. In today's video, we're going to go through a push workout. I'm going to show you what I do, explain why I do it, and show you exactly how to execute so you can apply to your own training and get the best from it. So today will be push workout number 2 for the week. Week 1 of a maintenance or a diet break. Last week I was getting kicked in the balls by diet fatigue. So when sleep gets effective, that's kind of like the last straw for me. So sleep was starting to get disrupted, would go to bed tired, but just toss, turn, toss, turn, toss, turn. So other things like moodiness and lack of motivation, hunger, all those kind of things, those are normally things I personally grind out. But when sleep starts to get disrupted, that's when I kind of, for the time being, it's going to have a little break. There's no reason to rush to my fat loss goal. The only reason behind this fat loss goal is to open up a long period of weight gain without accumulating too much fat. So to push through, to kind of make myself feel shit, have that fatigue for long periods of time doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because then it might rebound or it might be quite hard to get back to normalness. Like if you were competing, some of these things you might have to grind through, but that is not the case for me. So it's just to get to a lower body fat so I can have a lot of time to gain muscle next year. So yeah, we'll spend some maintenance time feeling better, building my calories back up, reducing steps for a period of time. When I start to feel like I'm ready to go again, then we can pull the trigger again. So push workout number 2 for the week. So we're going to start with this MedX lateral raise machine. So all my push workouts, all my workouts that involve lateral delts, which is 3 workouts per week at the moment, I'm prioritizing lateral delts by putting them as exercise 1. So at the first exercise of the whole workout. Now what this does is it just means I can hit them when I'm the most fresh versus waiting for 4 or 5 exercises to then isolate them at the end of the workout or towards the end of the workout. And yeah, the goal is to bring them up. The downside is that there's potential that it will affect some of the chest movements. So like, a couple of pressing movements that I've got coming up next, it might affect that. But again, the priority is a priority. So while I have it as a priority, it gets first shot at the game. So this MedX lateral raise machine, so a lot of the machines these days have these kind of rolls here like this that'll go out to the side. This one's unique, and it's got this rectangular elbow pad here, and it kind of angles slightly forward and feels really nice on the shoulders. So we're elbows in here, pushing out to that position there, controlling the down phase, gentle tap, pushing out. So if you think about the lateral delt, or the delt in general, is this round muscle on top of your shoulder, and it the lateral portion attaches from the deltoid tuberosity, so on the side of your arm, to the acromion. So we're thinking in that kind of position there, that's how I'm going to get that muscle to work best, by pulling those 2 points to one another. If we're thinking anterior delt, which we've got later, it's kind of movements like this. The back part of the delt, movements like this. So for now, we're thinking those 2 points to one another, such that we use and target the lateral delt as best we can. All right, early morning push workout, 4:08. That seems to be the time that I get started each time, 4:08. It's like a magic time. All right, let's get it going.
Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Okay, first lateral delt exercise done. So machine lateral raise. Don't know if it's just increasing food being a psychological thing or a physiological thing, but my performance straight away has started to go forward again. Whereas in that diet phase towards the last couple of weeks, trying as hard as I could, matching the same reps as last week. And yeah, so you just re-enter, get some extra food into you, and suddenly you start to see that progress across the board, which is pretty interesting. So that's lateral delts, exercise 1. To get a little bit extra volume from them, later I'm going to do a drop set with some dumbbell lateral raises. So we'll see that in a sec. But now we move on to our chest exercise, 2 of them. Number 1 is a incline cambered bar bench press. So incline, the idea is that we're moving our body this way, weight still coming down against gravity, so we're trying to work the upper part of the chest or further up the chest. If you think about it this way, if you continue to incline, eventually it'll become a shoulder press and a really shoulder dominated exercise. This bench is at 30 degrees. I only know this because this setting on this bench has like a degree marking, so you can go 20, 30, 37, so on and so forth. So it's got that setting, so I'm going to do number 30, so I'd call that a medium incline. Just mixing that up over the course of time is something that I think is worthwhile, just to make sure we are ticking all the boxes. We're not doing the same shit over and over again. So if I do 3 different type of incline chest movements per week, just changing that angle slightly, maybe there's some merit, maybe that means diddly. And then the cambered bar. So the cambered bar is a very unique kind of thing. You don't see this too often, but the idea is that it kind of increases the range of motion. So if I put my hands here, this is where the gap of my chest will go, and therefore I'll be able to sink down past the level of my body. Whereas if it was a straight bar, that would touch your chest and you'd press from there. So yeah, I like this one. It is a big hit to the ego, especially for me, because I'm already not a great bench presser. You add this increased range of motion, it makes it even worse. So tips for bench pressing are somewhat similar. So you can see I'll grab the bar outside the level of that camber or dint in the bar, comes out over the chest, down to touch the top of the chest, or as far as your mobility will allow, straight up. So increased range, increased stretch. That stretch seems to be worthwhile for muscle growth, so there's some potential there. Feels good to me, as in feels effective. I get to the end and go, oh, my chest feels good, so that's a good thing. And yeah, since last week, or starting this week, should I say, I've also taken all my chest work to a more moderate rep range, so we're going 8 to 12s. In that fat loss phase, the heavier stuff, heavy for me, started to kind of take a hit. So, but the moderate stuff still performed well. So I don't exactly know why that is, but I'm inclined to then go, okay, let's put all our energy into where we can make progress versus doing the heavier stuff and just my performance is backsliding with the heavier weights. So be that like a leverage thing, be it as you get smaller, you have to do like a different range of motion or different technique. Whatever it is, the moderate stuff, I could still, eke out a couple of, a bit of progression, whereas the heavier stuff kind of dipped. I don't exactly know why that is. That's just how it is for me, and it's been the same for the last couple of fat loss phases, so we are going to double down on our moderate work instead. All right, let's get our load on there and get going.
Brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I've got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I've got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not.
Okay, plate loaded chest press next. So let's have a little story time. A story goes like this, right? If Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius hired a slave, this will come back around to being important here in a second, and that part's probably ironic as well, to follow him around and tell him he's just a man, to prevent him, to keep him aware of his own mortality and to avoid hubris or excessive self-confidence. Now, the reason I bring that up is because if you do an incline cambered bar bench press or a cambered bar bench press at all, that will never allow you to be confident again, because it is very, very humbling as far as weight or anything like that goes. So, yeah, the irony there is he hired a slave. Maybe that's not ironic. Anyway, plate loaded chest press. So this is a plate loaded chest press variation, which sort of contradicts some of the things I say, in that if we look over here at this hinge or this plate loaded element, the hinge that the weights are on, you'll see that the hinge point is there and the weights start down here. So what that means is, as we start this movement, it's not the hardest portion, but as we finish and the weight gets out from that hinge point, that's when it gets the hardest. So potentially that training the muscle in the lengthened position has that little bit extra merit. If we had to choose the lengthened or shortened position, we'd probably choose a lengthened position if we had to. And if we had to make it hard in the lengthened position or hard in the shortened position, we'd potentially make it hard in the lengthened position. However, I've done that cambered bar bench press, big stretch, hard in that stretch position. This one here, harder in the shortened position. You still get a good range of motion, but it just feels quite friendly, joint friendly and stuff like that. And the fact that I've already done that one means I'm okay to do this one. And with all that said, let's say, well, the information isn't there yet, right? But let's say we compared a movement that was harder in the shortened or mid-range or whatever position versus a movement that was harder in the lengthened position, and we compared them for muscle growth. If they're both taken to failure, we're not certain that is going to be so significantly different. Maybe they work in different parts of the muscle as well. And maybe the big factor there is taking the muscle close to failure. So whether it's in the lengthened position, short position, it might not matter. But we're going with this one. Feels really effective. So I've set the seat up such that when I get into position, then my elbow is directly behind the level of the weight. So we're all working together. If I were to be in this kind of position here, you can see that my elbow is above or my forearm is pressing down, but this angles slightly up. So we want to be directly pushing against the resistance, not in this kind of position there. Yeah, so if you set yourself too high, you'll be in this position. If you set yourself too low, you'll be in this position. The resistance is kind of coming back down like this, so we want to be pushing directly against it to be as efficient as possible. All right, we've got a little bit more weight to add, and then we are on.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you...
Alright, chest work done. So we've gone that incline cambered bar bench press into that, I believe that's a Nautilus plate loaded chest press. I think they call that an Explode or XP. Good, feels good, both of those, so happy days there. Now we move on to tricep isolation. So if you think about all of our pressing work, because we have to straighten our elbow, our tricep has work, but for me, I want extra work. I feel that it's a bit of a weak point for me. Triceps, arms, shoulders as well, and back as well. So I do extra isolation work. And what I've got set up here is an easy bar skull crusher. All-time favorite of mine. Every time I take it out of my program and reintroduce it, It always feels really effective. So the easy bar being this bar with the little kink in it. You could go straight bar, dumbbells, whatever. This has just always been the most comfortable to me. And we will do 5 sets here, so pretty significant. But yeah, the idea is to get extra work into the triceps. And yeah, this is my choice of exercise for today. So I'll take the narrow kink on this bar, kick it onto my lap, lie back with it. So this can be done many a different way, you know, like as in where we go with it. So some people I've seen do it to like their chin, chest, throat area. That's never felt super pleasant on my elbows, so I don't really ever do that. Forehead, when I first started doing this movement, that's where I would aim. But nowadays, I've found that the most effective path to kind of take is touching the bench just above my head, extending the elbow back down into that position there. So theoretically makes sense that we get a longer stretch through the tricep the higher we raise our arm. So if you're someone who just does push downs like this, I would say most people should consider doing different tricep extension exercise where their arm comes up, be it overhead cable, skull crushes like I'm doing today, overhead V-bar like this. You could do it standing to make sure we are stretching out that tricep, and particularly the long head, which passes the elbow, but then also passes into the scapula. So bending it like this stretches it. Bringing it up will stretch it more because it goes and attaches to the scapula. So just something to consider. I know people have their preferences and stuff like that, and people will just comment sometimes and go, well, you just got to train hard, man. And you could be right. But I think when I'm laying on my deathbed and I'm thinking should I have done elbow extension exercises where my arm was raised, and, you know, I'm looking back on my life, will I feel, you know, like an opportunity miss? Maybe. So I'm not going to miss that opportunity, and it's not worse off. Do you know what I mean? And it feels effective, and all the stuff that would make me not regret it on my deathbed, I'm going to do, right? So yeah. Could you do push downs? Sure. I do push downs later on this day. So there you go. You can do both. But yeah, I would recommend in some form of training, for triceps, getting the arm into these kind of positions here to get that big stretch. Okay, let's build up our weight and smash it out.
I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, no, this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
All right. Dumbbell shoulder press next. Nothing flashy about this, just your conventional dumbbell shoulder press. I think some things to keep in mind with the dumbbell shoulder press is depending on your preference and how you feel, you can lean back a little further. Again, the further we lean back, opposite to the incline chest press from before, incline bench press before. If you keep inclining, eventually it'll become anterior delt. If you keep declining, it eventually will become upper pec and pec. So we want to choose a position that essentially your arm, if we think about, we're now trying to go anterior delt, so we're thinking deltoid tuberosity on the side of your arm and the outer part of your clavicle. That's where your anterior delt's running. So we want to pull your arm, or essentially, pull your arm to your head. So if you angle too far back and your arm gets pulled across like that, that's chest. So we want to set you up, hand position, all these kinds of things, that's such that it feels good for you and that you're pulling your arm towards your head. If we start to go behind our head and stuff like that, again, that's potentially not ideal, getting lateral delt, posterior delt, and we want anterior. So we get a setup, we get a hand position, we get an incline that, as I've already said, brings your arm towards your head. So I'll take dumbbells onto the lap, kick them up here, drive the arm towards the head, control the down, arm towards the head. bada bing, bada boom, we got this. So anterior delt is probably a muscle group that some people wouldn't train on its own because the pressing work will use it, and sometimes, maybe probably more often than not, it's not an underdeveloped muscle. But again, I'm just doing 2 sets here, so I make sure it is as close to the limiting factor as possible. It's all right at this part of the workout with all that stuff already done, so we get a couple sets to focus on it, and that's enough for me. All right, not too many warm-ups required. We'll go get our weight and get started.
I'm obsessed with the pain I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic. You can't stop it, it's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I can change the past with all I'm achieving.
All right, couple drop sets to finish. We're going to tricep drop set, 3 sets. So drop set is essentially you'll do a set nice and close to failure, drop some of the weight off, and then do another set. So what essentially is going on here is you're going to go to failure close to, for movements like this is pretty safe to go to failure. Anyway, you go close to failure. Now, just because you're close to failure at that weight doesn't mean you're actually at muscular failure. We can actually drop the weight and continue the work. So that's one thing, you're actually potentially getting closer to failure. And you're getting 3 sets in a really short period of time. So I'm going to go set, 10 to 15 is the goal, I think. Drop the weight off, 10 to 15. Drop the weight off, 10 to 15. And I'm going to do this for both the, straight bar tricep pushdown and dumbbell lateral raise. So we're getting extra work into the tricep, short period of time, extra work into the lateral delt, short period of time, intensity, close to failure, 3 shots at it. And yeah, this will get done in 3 minutes. If I was to do set, rest, set, rest, set, rest for 3 sets, that might take 10 minutes-ish. So we're kind of saving, I don't know, what's that, 70%, 60% of time, whatever it might be. Anyway, so we do it for a push down, really easy to adjust the weights and all that kind of stuff, not super systemic fatiguing. If you were to do it for a big movement like a back squat or a deadlift, you might find that you are so out of breath or systemically fatigued, you just feel fatigued overall, whatever systemic fatigue is, that you can't perform well on the subsequent sets. And we want to be able to perform well and go close to failure again. So straight bar push down, pretty conventional, nice elbow flexion, so I'm flexing the elbow as far as possible. Straighten the elbow, straighten the elbow, straighten the elbow. So I'm going to do 3 sets there, and then I'm going to do 3 sets of dumbbell lateral raise. Theoretically, both of these exercises aren't quote unquote optimal. Let me grab you the dumbbells and we'll show you that. All right, so just your standard dumbbell lateral raise, 2 dumbbells by the sides. I like to raise them slightly in front of the body. So we're not directly out to the side, we're slightly in front, thinking about the lateral delts doing the work here. I'll use straps for that, should I say, so I don't have to worry about grip. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 push downs. Maybe I'll take a brief moment, have a rest, 1, 2, 3 on the dumbbells. So we're going to save some time here. Last week we ran out of time, but this week we should be good to get all of it in as per program. Let's go.
Should I feel like I'm winning all? And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all.
And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be? And do you believe we can do anything? But what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be?
Okay. Oh, fuck me.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise.